Alright lads, so today we got the announcement of more upcoming resurrectable characters for the month of June. 2 weeks ago we got a pretty good batch, probably one of our better resurrections to date, with Kenpachi, Shunsui, and also Seinosuke getting the upgrades. And today, to wrap up the month, we're getting Renji, URYU, and SZAYELAPORRO, the Fierce Battle versions, resurrected. Now in a way, due to the last resurrection batch, my expectations going into this might be a tad bit higher. Having said that, they are premium characters and there's not really much they can do with these units because the characters themselves really weren't that great on release. So for the most part, if we can get a decent link here, that would be great to see. But if you do own these characters, and hopefully you do because they are premium, it does mean more orbs for the upcoming end of month or again anniversary. So with that said, first up, let's have a look at URYU. And you know what? If we can get a really good link here, that would be absolutely amazing. I don't think we will. We got a pretty good link 2 weeks ago with Seinosuke, but URYU is a 14% recharge. If we can get 20% more damage at full stamina, that would be absolutely amazing for a premium 14% recharge soul trait. I feel like they're going to mess it up though, and probably give him something like damage to enemies not afflicted by an ailment, which of course would help him out. But with the idea being used as a link, likely you aren't going to use him unless you do want to throw him on someone like Uetsu. But I feel like Uetsu's got enough damage against enemies not afflicted by an ailment, you know? Regardless though, if this second soul trait can be anything to increase the strong attack damage output, that is going to be seen as a benefit in my opinion. When it comes to the skills, he has a 40% Berserker, 40% Bruiser, Devastation, Frenzy, Guard Break, hit an enemy, and also Sprinter +1. Going based off previous resurrections, you know, over the last couple of some months, normally characters like this will see a 50% damage increase, so I feel like this character is going to get nothing but skills that increases damage to enemies not afflicted by a status ailment. So with that said, let's have a look. And again, shout out to MolyPrim and the Reddit team for providing us with this data. So scrolling down, the soul trait is recharge and also strong attack damage. At the very least, he got a useful second soul trait. We'll take it, especially for a 14% recharge. Again, I would have loved to have seen 20% strong attack damage at full stamina. But I guess Caleb don't want to make a premium link like super good, you know? But honestly, in the long run, it's not that big of a deal. 14% recharge and 16% strong attack damage, which will get further increased thanks to the attribute tree, is obviously going to be a good thing, and you can definitely make a use of that. So decent soul trait, and when it comes to the skills, his Sprinter got moved up to his innate skill. I didn't even consider it, but Havoc on this character does make sense. His SA2 and 3 are actually pretty good. I remember when this character came out, he had a good strong attack kit for his time, more so with his second strong attack, but obviously damage output was an issue, and it's also just like an URYU. No one really cared about this version. But in terms of the other skills this character does have, he did pick up the 50% damage to enemies not afflicted by a status ailment. So 50% more damage, an additional 20% strong attack damage, which he does give to every speed character now. His strong attack damage stayed the same, Frenzy +1 stayed the same, but he also did pick up Guard Break and again, Havoc, +20%. So it's an overall decent resurrection batch. I'd say right now it's kind of the bare minimum for a premium character, but that bare minimum isn't that bad, you know? Because essentially what we are getting here is around 80% strong attack damage increase. Guard Break, so now he technically does more damage because he doesn't have to break guard on that first initial strong attack hit, and he also has 20% more range. Obviously, this isn't enough to make him a super powerful character compared to the newer characters, right? But for an upgrade, it's pretty decent. Again, characters like this can get a use in Senkamon content, so even an 86% strong attack damage increase, it will go a long way if you need to use this character to free up a better character in a harder stage. And URYU in particular is a human Quincy, so he's kind of not a rare affiliation. The human affiliation is definitely more rare, but maybe you don't have access to that many humans on Quincy's, and again, this character can be used in 2 of those Senkamon quests, at least when the human Senkamon quest does get added. Next up, though, we have Renji. Now, this character was actually a character that I used until recently. Essentially, I only stopped using him last year. But considering that he's now getting resurrected, I used him for like a solid 3 to 4 years. Now, ultimately, it's due to his killer effect. He was a melee normal attack damage character for the Emilia Espada Guild quest, and I just didn't get the newest characters at the time, so I always had to rely on him for my normal attack damage support. Obviously, you don't need it now because Kenpachi exists, and unfortunately what this does mean is like no matter what damage output he gets here, you're just never going to use him because you have no reason to do so. Now, not everyone's going to have 9th anniversary Kenpachi, but you're more likely to probably have him compared to this character if you are a newer player. And Kenpachi is what, at the same time, the 9th anniversary version is one of those characters everyone should be trying to get because he is a character you should own. So once more, similar to URYU, if this character can get a good soul trait, more damage at full stamina would be great to see. Then again, personally for me, it's not that big of a deal. We have access to some pretty good soul traits in the heart attribute and very similar soul traits too. 1000-year Blood War Soifon and Masaki also offer more damage at full stamina, but a premium alternative would be nice to see. What we're likely going to see here though, and I'm not sure if this is ever going to be a good thing, is more damage to lacerated enemies. When it comes to the skills though, just more bruiser would be great to see. Just more damage is what you want to see from a character like this. But again, no matter what you do, no one's ever really going to use him. I guess you could use him in Sankamon, but as a Suripa, there's plenty more options. So this character's kind of in a weird spot. Even if they did what they did with Kenpachi and gave him Flurry +2 and 100% bruiser, I still feel like this character would have less play than a character like Calm-Fueled Kenpachi. Let's find out, however. So scrolling down, we have soul trait as 20% normal attack damage and also 14% damage taken. Now, personally, I've said this quite a lot of times, whenever we do get a soul trait like this, I don't like this combination. I would much prefer normal attack damage and strong attack recharge, because we also don't have that many soul traits with that combination. When it comes to damage taken, you really only ever use that in Brave battles, and it's more important to have a higher damage taken decrease than it is to have more normal attack damage. So I would much rather use a 20% DR soul trait that offers 16% strong attack damage over more normal attack damage and less DR. So kind of a throwaway soul trait, unfortunately. When it comes to the skills, though, surprisingly, although I think every character nowadays does get this, he actually did get guard break, so that makes him a bit more usable outside of guild quests, and again, maybe even in Sankamon content if you do want to use him there. When it comes to his other skills, he did get a 20% increase in his normal attack damage, and he also got Poise, so quite a small upgrade with this character, already picking up 2 new skills here. So this one isn't anything super crazy, but I guess you have the quality of life now of having guard break. That's something that I know a lot of normal attack damage characters in the past would have loved to have. Again, like I said, the expectation for this Resurrection Badge isn't anything super high, and we're kind of just getting the bare minimum, but at least we're getting a second Resurrection Badge this month. Now, I would love to say saving the best for last, but this character, even for his time, I think near the end of 2020, no, I think this is the first banner of 2021. This character is terrible. Absolutely terrible. I think he was one of the first characters to have the Quincy Killer. Nowadays, Quincy Killer is perfectly fine, right? But he had a Plant Vortex SA2 and then a Crystal and Jaw drop increase, which, to be fair, is useful. But as a veteran at the time, it's not something you're looking forward to with a new character, you know? But I guess for the soul trait, if you can get more Crystal and Jaw, maybe Coin Drop would be a nice combo for this character. At this point, Caleb might as well double down and just make him a farmer, so Coin Drop would be a second good soul trait, probably the best case scenario for him. I guess at the same time, though, recharge on this character wouldn't be a bad idea because he does lack that, but again, I don't think anyone's really going to be playing with this character. He already has quite a lot of skills. I don't think he is going to get any new skills besides 2 innate abilities, which will likely just be Havoc and also Guard Break. So let's find out. So scrolling down, we do get the Coin Drop increase. So 70% Crystal and Jaw, 13% Coin Drop. It's an overall good soul trait. If you're farming Crystals and Jaws, if you're farming coins, you can throw this character on and just get more value for your soul tickets. He does pick up Guard Break, surprisingly. And he also did get, oh damn, okay. That's not bad. So we got 50% Crystal and Jaw drop increase, and then Coin Drop increased by 50%. They just basically turned into a really good Crystal and Coin farmer. Again, as someone that has maxed out my entire box and has plenty of Crystal and Coins, this doesn't really matter for me, but I feel like some people can definitely get a use out of this. And resurrection standards are usually lower when compared to newer characters, but I feel like Crystal and Jaw drop increase does normally hover around 50 to 70%. Same with Coin Drop. I think the max we've seen on a character is 70%. So in a way, this is kind of up there with, you know, some of the newer characters that are designed at least in mind to be used as a coin farmer or Crystal and Jaw farmer. Is it weird to say that I'm more impressed with this character's resurrection because it is something different? Because the soul trait, in my opinion, is perfect. I guess the guard break is nice with this character. It does make him a tad bit better. Did he get any damage increases? I mean, his Berserker went up by 30%, so he does do a bit more damage. And his damage to poison enemies also went up by 10%. But again, that doesn't matter. The main use for this character here is to be used as a soul trait or to throw in the team and make him a good farmer for coins, crystals, and also jewels. Now, before we do wrap up the video, it was just brought to my attention that, in a way, not like it makes it all that better, RENJU's soul trait, his second one, is a tad bit higher at 14%. Usually, it's 12%. So we actually, in a way, got an enhanced soul trait. Again, I wouldn't probably still use a link like this, but it is better than normal, so it's probably worth the mention. So in conclusion, it's just more free orbs. If you own these characters, it's an extra 225 orbs for the end of the month or the upcoming 10th anniversary, which is obviously great to see. URYU is an overall pretty good soul trait, got a good upgrade if you like the character, if you plan to use him, which I feel like you can do in Senkaman content. RENJU, I guess it's cool that he got an enhanced soul trait, but this character has basically been dead on arrival since 9th anniversary Kenpachi released. And then ZAYELAPORRO is just now a better farmer, a significantly better farmer when it comes to crystal, jewels, and coins, but depending on where you are at in the game, it's not really that big of a deal. This banner was pretty much dead on arrival. I don't think I was expecting anything from this resurrection batch, but I'll gladly take the more orbs and I guess decent soul trades. Let me know what you'd like to think about these characters in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.